Hello and welcome to my channel, as well as my first video. So this is a Valentine's Day special, and I decided to do French macarons today. So continue watching, I'll show you step by step on how to do these amazing treats. One thing I did forget to mention is please preheat your oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, as well as you want to make sure you have all your ingredients at room temperature, which includes your butter and egg yolks. Alright, to get started, we're going to go measure our dry ingredients. So here I'm starting off with my almond flour. You can use the measuring cups or you can use a digital scale like I did. It's just more precise accuracy. And here I'm just sieving that almond flour through a nice big sieve. Want to make sure there are no lumps left over. Next ingredient, we're gonna go add in our powdered sugar. Once again, I'm just gonna go scale that out, get better accuracy. If not, you can totally use measuring cups. It should work perfectly fine. And once again, we're just gonna pass that through our sieve to make sure we don't get any lumps. The goal here is to not have any lumps in our batter, so that's why I'm sieving everything here. Now we're just gonna give those two ingredients a quick mix, make sure it's all well combined. Next up, we're gonna go separate our eggs. I doubled this recipe, so I'm using 4 eggs, but you don't have to, you can use 2 eggs. And here, this is how I separate my egg whites. I don't like the back and forth eggshell method because I usually break the yolk doing that. So here, I'm actually just dipping my hand in and taking out the egg yolks one at a time. And one accidentally falls here. Yeah, there you go. So I'm gonna go get those egg yolks and put that in a small saucepan, which we will use later to make our Nutella filling. That way nothing goes to waste. Alright, so we're gonna let that chill on the side, and we're gonna measure out our white sugar, just using the digital scale once more. Once we have our white sugar measured out, we're gonna go and start whipping up our egg whites to start making our meringue. And within about 3 or 5 minutes, we should be at a frothy stage. It should look something like this coming up in the next clip. Yeah, there we go. So it should look something like that. And once we get to that stage, we're gonna go turn the KitchenAid on, and we're gonna add half of our white sugar that we measured out. We're gonna add the other half later on before we hit the full stiff peak meringue stage. And I kind of lost that footage, but I did add the other half, and now we're at this stage. We want some nice stiff peaks for our meringue, and you know you're at that stage when you can flip the bowl upside down and it doesn't fall out. So that's one way I learned how to do it, and you're pretty much set to go. Perfect. So now here I'm slowly adding in our dry batter into our wet batter, which is the meringue, and I'm just folding that in till we reach the right stage. I added my dry ingredients in 3 parts. So you don't want to add it all at once. You want to slowly introduce the dry ingredients into your meringue. And we're just going to keep folding and folding until we reach this lava consistency, as you can see here. We want to make sure you don't overdo it or underdo it to get a nice smooth batter. And once we have reached that stage, we're going to put it in a piping bag and get ready to pipe. Here I have a silicone sheet lined up in my baking sheet. I added these templates underneath just to get more of a perfect round circle. You can find these online. I can put a link down below what I did it. And before I actually start piping, I'm actually going to slam the piping bag onto my table. I want to make sure we get all the air bubbles out. That way we can get a nice smooth consistency piping out. Here I am slowly piping out the macarons one at a time, and the template's really helpful. You can use it or not, it's up to you. I decided to use it, as well as you don't need a silicone mat. You can also use parchment paper. This is the only silicone mat I had, so I did use parchment paper to make the rest. So once we get that piped out, we're gonna go slam this onto the table and get any air bubbles out. And you wanna do this a few times because you really want that nice smooth consistency onto your cookies. So here you can see a lot of the air bubbles are out, and I'm gonna go let that dry. So I forgot to mention, or I lost the footage here, but once you you know, slam your macarons out and get all the air bubbles out, you're supposed to let it just chill on the side and, you know, just let it form that crust. It's kind of like a crust, but basically kind of drying it out. So during that process, it's about a 15 or 45-minute wait. It just depends how long humidity, temperature, and control, all that is around you, but it doesn't take too long. So just let that, you know, do its thing. Come back, check it out, tap it. If it doesn't stick on your finger, you're good to go. But I forgot to put that footage. And then once you do that, you'll put them in the oven, bake them at 300 for 15 to 18 minutes. And then once they're good, let them cool out, and then we'll do the buttercream. I kind of lost that footage, but we're back. Okay, so as you heard future me speak out, I did forget that footage, but here I am actually adding in the macarons, and we're gonna let that cook off, or bake off actually. Now here, remember that saucepan we had? I'm gonna go add in the egg yolks, the milk, and the sugar, and we're kind of making a custard almost, but not really. But we're gonna go mix those three ingredients, bring it into a medium heat, and we're gonna slowly mix that in, and it should start thickening. And we kind of want it to look into this stage as we have here. Yeah, once we hit that, it should look pretty thick. All right. So once we get that, we're gonna go put it through a sieve, make sure we don't get any cooked egg. I'm pretty sure I got some chunks because I left the heat a little too high, but you know, once we pass it through the sieve, it should look pretty smooth and be ready for the next stage. And yes, that is the same dirty bowl because I'm not about to do more dishes in my kitchen. So yeah, I'm just gonna use that. And to that, we're gonna go add in our butter. We want the custard to be a little warm to melt in the butter, but not too warm where it melts the butter. We just kind of want to slowly add it in and, you know, get a nice smooth filling. Awesome. And then here I'm aggressively adding the Nutella into that filling, so to make it more of a chocolate filling. And it tastes really good. I really like this filling. It is delicious. So hopefully I'll give it a try and not waste your egg yolks. And we're gonna let that chill in the fridge actually to get just a little thick. And now we're gonna go ahead and decorate our macarons. Here I'm just using pink candy melts as well as red candy melts. Just melting that in. I did use a little bit of coconut oil for my pink candy melts just to make it a little smooth. And here I am just drizzling the red candy melts all over the macarons. And after that, I'm gonna go add in the pink candy melts, drizzle it all over. And then I'm adding red sprinkles to stick it in. And then here I am taking them out after they cooled off and finding the size that matches the best so I can fill them up. So here, have them all separated out, ready to go. And we're gonna go and start flipping these bad boys over, and we're gonna start piping out our delicious Nutella filling one at a time, which takes a while, but you know, it tastes good. So we're gonna go sandwich that in together, and boom, that is it. That is the French macaron. Got more lighting in there. And we're gonna repeat this process to all the macarons until they're basically done. So we're just gonna zoom forward and we're squeezing in the last two. And yeah, I think I should come in on the other end, hopefully. And we're waiting and waiting. Okay, perfect. And there you have it. I just got a nice little box off Michael's, filled it up, and boom. Valentine's Day French macarons. They look pretty good. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching my video. I do appreciate it, as well as I hope y'all give this recipe a try, and I'll see you on the next dish.